Hey, happy Good Friday. That's at least when I am recording this. Happy Good Friday and all happy Easter weekend. Sometimes I hear Christians say, I wish I had a better testimony. And I ask them then, what do you mean by that? And what they usually mean is, oh, they wish they had a testimony that was more dramatic, more, in their words, powerful. Well, what do you mean by powerful? Well, I wish I had one of these testimonies like this person over there. And you kind of listen to this other person's testimony, and they get up on stage and they talk about how they were in prison for murder of their parents, and how they ground their parents bones and down and mixed it with cocaine and snorted it all, or something like this. And you're listening to this testimony and you think, wow, this is like the meanest 9-year-old girl I've ever heard in my life. And she's like, yeah, but then I met Jesus and my life's turned around. And and it all sounds so powerful. And your Christian friend might be like, oh, I wish I had a more powerful testimony of really going from darkness to light. And for me, I just became a Christian when I was a very young person, before I'd done anything too dramatically evil. And I want a testimony like that. They think that the degree of change perceived by society, of what society thinks of as really bad or really good, is the effect of a powerful testimony. How much perceived change? Well, there's a there's definitely a big misunderstanding here. Oh, yes, the gospel does bring change. If you've not changed at all, then you've not met Jesus. But the power of a testimony, it's not you, it's Christ. Your testimony may be a lot like mine. Jesus saved me when I was 13 years old. He took socially insecure kid that wanted far too bad to fit in and was anxious about what would happen when he died. And I met the resurrected Christ, and all of a sudden I was much more at peace about what would happen when I die. And I was much more, not that I didn't want kids at school to like me, of course I did, but no, I was no longer obsessed with it anymore. And there was just a peace in my life. And you know what? Those changes cost the Son of God his very blood. The Passover lamb was slain to deliver us from death, from sin. The power is in the blood. The power is in the cross. That God became human, that human grew up, that human lived an innocent life and yet died and was risen again so that we could be saved. Whether we've changed a lot by what society deems as change or not, in God's eyes, that is not where the power is. The power is in the blood. What did it cost the Son of God to save you? Same thing as the 9-year-old girl who killed her parents and everything else. That is the power. We do not preach how drastically we've changed, although, yes, Christ does change us by his Spirit more than we can ever imagine, and will continue to change us much more than we could ever imagine. But the power, it is, our testimony is ultimately about him. We testify to the blood. It is the blood that saved the Israeli people. It is the blood that brought them out of Egypt. And it is the blood that will bring us into our full and heavenly home, both now and even more so in eternity. God bless. Happy Easter weekend.